Hello everyone, welcome to the Engineering Projects YouTube channel. My name is Janesh Shahid, and in this video we are going to cover page listing in this video. In the last video we have worked with the image preview option in edit page and create page. Now it's time to move forward for the listing because we didn't develop any listing into our whole application. Rather than in WordPress there have a good UI UX listing, and we are going to work on a better one UI tool, which is data tables. So the data tables give us support to show the listing into your application. Data table is open source and we can utilize it. It doesn't have any dependency on any other component. We just need jQuery, the latest version, at least 3.1.1 and so on. So as much a good or latest technologies you have into your stack of application, you will get good UI UX tools to be utilized in your application. So we are going to use the data tables for the listing purpose. So what we are going to cover in this video regarding the data tables, we will change our simple table listing with data tables. Whenever we delete any page or any row from data table, that is automatically refreshed and redraw. Like we have 10 elements in a data tables, 10 rows, and if I will remove any row, then in the past in the back there are 9 rows that is automatically adjust with data tables. So we are going to cover this in video. Let's see. Here you can see in the dashboard of WordPress, here they have the listing. We are going to build a better one and a good one which we can utilize into our application. So here we have our application. Here you can see this is our listing. So what we will do, we will use data tables and add that into our code. So go to list or the index. We need to add the references of data table into this page. So simply copy these things and you can do that everything. We will go to the example, go for the 0 configuration and get the minimized option data tables. So here we have the HTML from which it's get developed, and here is the CSS, and here is the JavaScript libraries which we need. So copy these two, comes to the code and add them. Simply script source and you are done. Then here we have the CSS, so drop that here and go to the data tables page, and from CSS copy this link and paste that here. Now the second thing which we need to do is we need to initiate the data table. So go to here in JavaScript, copy this, comes to the bottom, create a script and paste this, and here we have a ID example which we are going to replace with dot table. Now comes to your old page, load the libraries and see how data table is created. It is refreshing and loading all the libraries which are essential for the working of data tables. And right after it's get refreshed, we will get something like this. Okay, so it's loaded now. So here we have our data table. Now data table is get conflicted with the CSS and JS of WordPress. Once force refresh this. Okay, now what we need to do, we need to add an ID here instead of class. Pages table hash pages table. Force refresh, control press R. Now go to the HTML and here you can see class display and width is equal to 100. You need to copy this, come to the code and paste that here and save the application. Once again force refresh the page and here you can see how it's look alike now. Now we need to remove something from this. Okay, to enhance it more, we can add the portlet here, which is available into the Bootstrap, and add the table into that portlet. So it will give you something like this. Or even that we can use these tables too, but these are complicated to work with. So here we have a data table. Okay, now there are a lot of samples in data tables which you can utilize, like the advanced initialization, the UI perspective, or the Bootstrap one. So you can use all that things or all the advanced features which you want to utilize. Even that, if you will say data tables Bootstrap 3, so it will give us Bootstrap data table. Even that you can work with Bootstrap 4 and data table. So data table also support the Bootstrap 4th version. Even there are a lot of designing available for the data tables, and if you have UI UX developer, he can easily work with data tables to customize its features. So data table have a lot of power to be utilized. Even that you can work with Ajax, APIs, and server-side rendering and so on information. So our data table is ready. Now what we need to do, we need to just implement a feature that when we will click on delete button, one row is deleted and it is automatically refreshed, and one of two have to be shown. So we can get the APIs of data tables to delete information from the data tables, and it will automatically re-render the data table again. So let's see, is there any? Okay, remove row data table function. Oops, I have internet issue. So now I am get recovered from internet issue, and here we can see there is an API reference for data table which will help us to delete information from data table instance. Okay, we just need to utilize this feature, and here is the example of that. Here you can see first we need to initiate a variable with the properties of your current data table. Like I will utilize this, copy this and go to your code, something like this, and this should be dynamic or the global level. That's why I have added a where with it, so I can utilize and access this into the whole application scope. Then you can easily delete this row, okay, simply like this. So when you click on delete, the row get deleted. Simply copy this one and goes to your code and add this function right after this. Click tbody row and that row is get deleted. We don't need to do this. We need to delete on specific element. So whenever this element is get clicked, so it is right now this, comment it, and I will add a span here, span, okay, and add delete here and add id delete. Now whenever this id is get clicked, this id get clicked, so I will add a function here, click. So my table row and this row is get deleted. So if you will study this, it will get you the current row, and that current row is get deleted. So what we will do, first we will comment this, and from here we will get the parent. So first parent and second parent. So we have something dot parent. This is the row which we need to delete. Uncomment this, and now let's see is it work or not. So go to your page, refresh once again, and then you will click on delete text, and then see is that row is get deleted and this table is get refreshed or not, because these are the APIs utilized for this purpose. Even that we can get index and utilize from the index, and we can delete the row like this, or even that you can create the button and so on things which can be utilized to delete the information from database. Okay, the timeout error due to the high latency into the network. I am getting low with the connectivity. So now it's loaded, and click here and let's see what's happened into the console. Okay, nothing happened. Actually, what's the flow comes? The flow is coming that we are using this to click this. So we need to add a click listener this dot click, and rest of the function will be same. Then I will add this here. Also need to add class delete because there are multiple instances. So it is class, comes to here, refresh the page. The second solution for this same purpose is that destroy table, remove from DOM, and redraw the table, which is the second priority. Okay, this delete function is with data table, maybe the compatibility issue. So what we will do in this click, what we are going to do, we are going to First, let's destroy this table. We will do something like this in console first. Then my data table dot destroy, it is get destroy. So on click, we need to destroy the table first. Then we are going to remove this from DOM. Then we are going to reinitiate the data table. So for this, I will redraw the same table. So let's see it is work. You have to check that for what versions API is working or not, since editor this, so we are not using this one. We have to manually find what is the version of the API we are going to utilize. So you can see this is the version which we are using. Okay, so it's get refresh, DOM deleted, and it's redraw. Did you see that how it's worked? Now click here, and that's it. So this is the main thing which we are gonna achieve in this video. So we are done with this. The delete functionalities work. You can now add a AJAX call under here to delete the record from server side, and you are completely done with this listing. I hope this video will give you a huge idea how to work with the tables dynamically. So I hope you get all the understanding of how data tables works. If you have any kind of question regarding the data tables, you can ask us. I have created a couple of videos in different projects in my back series of C# and ASP.NET MVC to work with data tables. It is a largely utilized into the ERP applications, so I would prefer this one. If you know any better data table provider or any other solution which works same and better than this, you can also recommend me that I can utilize that into this application if I found a better one than data tables, and lot of that solution is more compatible with this and more extendable, enhanceable and scalable, then definitely we will utilize in this series and also in our open source application. So don't forget to subscribe the Engineering Projects YouTube channel. We are just left few subscribers for the 4,000 milestone. So don't forget to subscribe, share it with your friends, and help us to support us to running this YouTube channel. Take care, bye bye, have fun.